Life doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes it breaks you. After a training accident left me paralysed from the neck down, I had to rebuild my body, my mind and my life. I'm Ryan Curtis, and every episode we dig into the chaos that shapes who we become. Before we get into the episode, it'd mean the absolute world to us if you could follow or subscribe on whatever platform you're currently listening to this on. For you guys, it's just a small click of the button, but for us, it's huge to grow the podcast, to get bigger guests on and have more interesting conversations for you. Thanks so much and enjoy the episode. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Made in Chaos with me, Ryan Curtis. Today, I'm joined by Carly Mahady, someone who a lot of people know for her humour, her honesty and the way she shows up online. But behind that, there's a side to her story most people don't fully understand. From going through something life-changing at such a young age and then having to figure out how to come back from it all. This is a conversation about identity, pressure and trying to stay yourself when everything around you changes. Carly, you had a pretty big health scare early on in your life. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I started to notice a change in my left breast when I was like 16. I had a conversation with one of the girls in school and she had said that she found a lump on her chest and she was worried, and I was like, why? Are you worried for? Like, we're only kids. Right. And she was like, no, like you can get breast cancer at any age. And I was like, get it over. Like, that's an older woman's problem. That wouldn't be anything for us to be worrying about. And she was saying no, that our auntie had been educating her on it and saying like it's a possibility for anybody. So she checked her chest regularly and she had found this lump. So that day I had the conversation with her. I went home and checked myself and I was like, oh, I noticed that I had like a little lump in my left breast. It was like a marble kind of like, but it moved around under my skin. So of course I went and I told my ma, and my ma was like, don't to be worrying about, you're only a child, do you know what I mean? Because again, that was just the way things were then. And I kept on kind of going on about it. So she was like, right, we'll go to your GP and see what the story is. Now, this was an older man at the time. And again, very kind of taboo thing where he would have having to physically check my chest. So it was awkward for everybody in the room. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a kid. I don't want to take my clothes off for you.
Yes.
You don't want me to do it. Yeah. But it had to be done because it wouldn't leave me mind. Yeah. So when he done the physical examination, God bless him, like he literally just went, no, that's grand. He was like, that's fine. Nothing was thorough about it, you know what I mean? Like, it was literally, this was just to entertain me. Right, this was to appease me on everybody's behalf, on me ma's and all. This was just to quieten me. So we went in and he was like, no, look, you're still, which I was developing, and it could be like milk ducts in your chest or whatever, that can happen. It could be like just a dead cystic fibroadenoma, it could be nothing. So I was kind of going, don't know if I buy that, but like I'm not going to get anywhere anyway. He's fobbing me off either way, so it's grand. I'll just move on and forget about it. And then it was a couple of years later. I was about, I'm going to say like 22. It would have been towards the end of me being 22. And I had noticed that when somebody gave me like a tight hug that I was getting a real sharp pain in my right breast. I was kind of going to myself, sure, I only ever had the lumps in my left. Like, I don't know why this would be happening. And then I kind of started to check my chest again, and I noticed that the texture of my right breast had changed. It had gotten like really hard around the outside of it, whereas like it's fleshy. Do you know what I mean?
But it wasn't lumps though on the right one.
No, it was like a cluster of an area that had hardened. Right. And I was like, that's so strange. But again, you put everything on the back burner, like your money is for going on nights out and your money is for getting new clothes and not rushing to the doctor to give them 60, 70 quid for an appointment. Like, and of course as well at that age, you're not thinking anything sinister ever. So I just kept on going on about my life and doing what I was doing. And then it got to a stage like when I was with the person I was with at the time, if they were laying beside me or laying like close to me, I'd be jumping because they'd just catch me at a wrong angle and that shouldn't be happening yet. Do you know what I mean? So it came to a head that I was just too worried by this. It was becoming too apparent it was happening too often. So I went to a new GP's office and I had a female GP and she checked my chest properly.
Yeah.
And she was like, look, you told me what happened to you before. Because I explained to her, I was like, look, I had issues before and I don't think that I was kind of like looked over properly.
Yeah.
So she did it and she was like, look, I'm not like finding anything that I find to be sinister, but also I don't like the fact that you weren't taken care of properly before. So I'm going to send you off to the breast clinic just to double check and to put you where it is. And I said, thanks very much. Like, she listened to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she
and
made
again,
you feel heard, like.
Exactly. And because I was so young, coming with a problem with my chest, at that stage, again, it was nearly unheard of.
Yeah.
So to ease me, she sent me off and I went to the breast clinic in the Mater Hospital and I seen a specialist and he gave me a physical examination. Again, an older man, but this was his field.
Yeah.
This was what he did every day for a living, made no odds to him. So when he was examining me, like he was proper examining me and like I was jumping. Do you know when he was kind of really feeling into where I had the kind of cluster?
The pain was intense.
Yeah, it was sore like when he was feeling around. And it's funny because that's not generally a symptom of breast cancer. Pain generally actually isn't one of there's 8 symptoms.
Right.
Pain isn't one of them.
Okay.
So it was strange for that to be happening. So he had examined me. He was like, look, you're not at the top of my worry list, Carly. I'm going to send you off for an ultrasound just in case. Went for the ultrasound. During the ultrasound, my ma had to go down and redo the parking. The second she left the room to go down and redo the parking, they were like, we need a biopsy for Carly. Can we get it here? Of course, my nerves just go, first of all, what's a biopsy?
Yeah.
Second of all, I have never been in a room with doctors on my own without me ma.
Yeah.
This one comes out with a needle. I says, no, good night. And I'm petrified of needles. But anyway, this all happened. And of course, my ma comes back and the nurses are all kind of talking amongst each other because the radiologist had seen on the screen something that didn't look too good. That was why she called for the biopsy in the first place. But they're all tittering and whispering. And my ma's coming in going, what's going on here? And I'm looking at her like that. Like I'm at having the biopsy done. And of course, it's sod's law. She was down the stairs when that happened. But they got the biopsy anyway. We went off and we were supposed to get the results of the biopsy. Say that was on the Thursday. And we were supposed to get the results on the Tuesday. Rings us on the Monday. Oh, we won't have them results ready for you tomorrow. We'll ring you back next week. This rolled on in 2 weeks.
Really, yeah?
Yeah. And this was before like COVID or that. And like this was 2019. And they just kept on ringing back being like, it's just gone off for specialised testing. They just want to like double check whatever.
Which is a bit strange just because that they were seemed like up in arms about it when you were there, do you know what I mean?
See, they were, but they tried to keep it to themselves. But of course, I'm psychotic. Like, I'm hyper aware of everything. So I'm like, what are they tittering and whispering for? Because she was speaking loud a second ago and now she's whispering. Yeah. So clearly she's trying to keep something to herself. And look at all them huddled over in the corner and look at the way her face is at the going when she took that. Like, I am super aware, psychotic. Yeah. So they were trying to keep it together. But I'm watching every single... You're breathing different, missus. I know something's going on here.
Yeah.
So they kept on ringing and coming back to us and being like, no, we'll have them, please God, next week, blah, blah, blah. So I'm saying to me, ma, no, ma, you know that, like, they're going off for specialised testing to see what the crack is. I said, like, I definitely have cancer. I mean, ma's
you were saying that time?
Yeah. No, and I knew even when I went for the ultrasound in the breast clinic, the way that man, the first man, examined me and he was like, you're not on the top of my worry list. I was like, yeah, well, why'd you say that for? Of course I am.
Yeah, right.
Like, I was like, I just knew by the way he was looking at me, and there's kind of like a little pity look that people get in their eyes when they think something's wrong with you or they feel like something's happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. I just felt at that stage, I was like, I know something's dodgy. So when we kept on getting the phone calls saying, we haven't got the results back, I was just like, yeah, no.
Really?
Like, and I was saying to me, ma, will you do me a favour and just broaden your mind, open yourself up to the idea that something could be wrong, because she's like, no, you're fine, everything's great. And I was like, no, ma.
I know, because I think you're kind of a person who is like your ma or like you. Do you know what I mean? You're kind of like, oh no, everything's grand, nearly like. And sometimes I'd be like a little bit...
It's the queen of wishful thinking, right? Yeah. She didn't want me to be unwell, so she was like, stop saying it. But I knew. Yeah. She's a stupid woman. But she was obviously trying to convince me, probably herself in that moment in time as well.
Herself probably more so, I would say.
Yeah. So, but why would you ever want to believe your child's unwell?
Of course.
So I can't imagine what it would have been like from her side. So but I also wanted to kind of, my protection kicked in for her being like, no, ma, you really have to open your eyes here because you're going to be devastated if this does become a thing. So the two of us was trying to look after each other, essentially.
Of course,
do you know what I mean? So we went on holidays. We went for 5 days because I says, I'm booking something because I know it's shit's about to hit the fan.
Yeah, okay.
I want a break because I just knew. So we got home from holidays and I think we were in like 2 days later. And we were in the waiting room of the breast clinic in the Mater. And I'm watching everything again. Psychotic, right? So I'm watching the nurses coming out and calling people in. And then I was like, here's a fella out in a black suit and a briefcase. Then I'm watching them calling them people in. So I'm waiting on the people that went in with the nurse to come back out to see their faces to see if they're all right. They're coming back out and they're yapping away and they're just going on about their day. I'm watching the people that your man called in coming out and I'm like, that's the bearer of bad news. That's when he comes out and calls you, that's when you know, right?
Right.
So I've gathered this. Here's me, ma. Medical professional, are you? Yeah, great, isn't it? You went to medical school, isn't it? And you know everything and you know how this building runs. I was like, ma, I'm just telling you, if the man in the suit comes out, we're snookered. It's game over. I'm sorry, it's curtains and that's what's happening. Oh, here she is. Keep her up, you. Because I'm half giggling with me nerves.
Yeah, of
course. And appeasing myself at the same time. Like, I'm trying to calm myself down at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
But like super aware though, you know what I mean?
I'm nuts.
I like the way your brain thinks.
Yeah, I'm hypersensitive. I'm watching everything
nice.
mental. So I'm sitting beside me, Matt, and she's getting annoyed at me then because here I am. Toka's Miracle came on in the background. Do you know, let me tell you, you know. Yeah, I need a miracle. Yeah. Here's me singing away to me, say, here I am, elbowing me back, and here she is, keep a fucking up, you. I was just trying to have a laugh.
Yeah,
she wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So with that, the man in the suit arrives and calls me name, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I literally said to me, ma, look it.
Yeah.
And here she is, you don't know what he's coming out here for. Like, she was fed up of me at that stage. So we were walking down. And we went into the room and I had a gorgeous breast health nurse that had been dealing with me the whole time. And she was in the room. My name's Sarah Jane, she's an angel. She was in the room and I just knew by even the way she was looking at me.
Yeah.
Like, she was devastated. And, like, I got to know her.
Just because I say it's as well as that, it's just because you're at that time. Like, do you know what I mean? A kid, right? Like, do you know what I mean?
I was a kid.
So they were probably just thinking like
I'm a strange cat. Like, the duality of me is odd because I'm so solid and loud and like able for myself in a way.
Yeah. But
there's such an innocence and a childishness about me as well. Like, I'm very mollycoddled and like looked after in a way like that. And there is like a softness that not an awful lot of people that don't know me would know about me. Yeah. Where I would be quite like.
But it's great to be so self-aware though.
Yeah,
Because the reason why I'm saying that is I think the majority of people are very unself-aware. I try to be as self-aware as possible as well, to know me, to know the true me and whatever, but it's just good observations, you know, to know like
to a fault though at the same time. Like, it's because, like I said to you earlier on, the logic behind it all is there and I can recognise these things, but it's the changing and handling that I struggle with. But I went into the room and Sarah Jane was there, knew by her face already. The room was sombre, the energy in the room, I could feel it was heavy. My shoulders were cracking because I could just feel
it was kind of
this is it.
Yeah.
So Mr. Barry sat down in front of me and I sat down there, my ma sat at the side and just got the little push of the envelope across the table and he's like, Carly, I'm so sorry, like. Oh, fucking hell. And I was just like, bollocks. It's just one of them. And I've said this on multiple podcasts as well. Like, it was like the film, you know that tonight is when you come home from a concert.
Yeah.
My ears just went and I just felt my eyes kind of well up with tears and I was like, that's poxy, like, to hear, because it was just like, you have cancer.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, like, it is that like tightening of the chest, that numb kind of feeling for a minute, and it does happen. Like,
is it a little bit surreal?
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, but the way it's depicted in some films, like, I can't tell you exactly what it is now, but I've seen it on the telly before, and you're kind of going, no, it does actually feel like that. Everything feels like it's just closed in on you for a second. And just kind of had a little tear. And then I was like, right, what are we doing? Are we taking 2 ditties or 1? Because it doesn't matter. I was like, take your pick. I don't care. Do what you have to do. And he literally just looked at me, man. And he was like, is she serious? And my ma was like, sorry about her.
Yeah.
Sorry about her. My ma didn't cry.
Right.
Yeah, my ma's solid. My ma didn't cry. She just kind of sat there, and I could see like her world's just stopped. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think she was just trying to be strong for you though?
She's not a whinger anyway.
Right.
Me ma, and even like my ma growing up would get frustrated by me crying.
Yeah, right.
And she'd be like, "What are you whinging for? That's not gonna change that." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's it's a protection thing. It's just from how she came up.
Yeah.
It's not a badness.
Yeah, because I know as my mum was like that
Yeah,
as well. Like,
it's not a badness. It's just, come on, get us together.
Yeah.
So she was like, but I could just, she froze. Like, she completely froze. And I was going, "Ma, you all right?" And she, yeah. "No, are you all right?" And it was just real one of them. But it was just, what are you going to do to help me here? What can we do? What's happening?
Nice.
And bless his heart, it was a very sweet thing, and I'll always remember it. So I needed to have a mastectomy on the right hand side, meaning that they took everything out of there. And then he was going to reconstruct with an implant because he was fully confident that he could remove the cancer that I had completely.
Right.
So I was diagnosed with a cancer called secretory carcinoma. 0.02% of people in the world have it. This version of breast cancer. So basically there was a case study in Italy and Japan, and the two of the case studies showed that the cancer could be treated by mastectomy alone. But my cancer was also triple negative. It wasn't a hormonal driven cancer, which is good for me in the long run, because it meant that I didn't have to stay on medications or anything after. But when he was planning the mastectomy for me, because he was confident he could remove all the cancer, he was like, "I have this date and the 18th of October free." And I went, "Yeah, give me the 18th," because it was the closest, but I was turning 25.
Right.
And my ma literally went, "No, that's our birthday."
Oh, no way.
And he went, "Oh, I'm not free that day anyway." And I said, "Yeah, you are. Put me in on that day because I want it done and I want it over." And he was like, "I'm actually away on that day, so I can't do it for you." But he literally just didn't want me to go in for surgery on my 25th birthday, bless him. So he was like, "I'll do you the next week," which he did. So, I ended up getting operated on. And unfortunately then, when the results came back, obviously they take your lymph nodes during the surgery to see if the cancer had spread. It did.
Right.
Because it wouldn't be me if it wasn't something ridiculous. I swear to God, I always say my ma should have called me unfortunate. It's just the way it is. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And again, when that was done, I was fully going, "No, I know this is happening. I know this is real and I know it's happening. And I know for a fact that's going to come back and say that's at the spread." Like, I just kind of felt in my body, feel myself getting weaker, could feel myself. And it definitely is when you're aware of something. That cancer could have lived in me for years, Ryan. We don't know.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just when you're aware of something.
And was it just one breast you had to get taken at that time?
Yeah,
right,
at that time. So, and still now I only have had the mastectomy on the right.
Okay.
But when he came back and he just said, "Look, I'm so sorry, Carly, it's after spreading." So we had to go ahead then and do chemotherapy and radiation, and I had to have me eggs retrieved in case I wasn't able to have children, because they had to give me the highest form of chemotherapy because they didn't know how this cancer behaved. Was I going to wake up with it in my brain tomorrow? They didn't know.
Right.
So they had to attack it because they didn't know what way it was going to go.
Yeah, it was, I'd say, like, you know, even just for your man as well, like, and you, like, it was just a mad period of your life to just go through, I'd say.
It just
but
doesn't feel
seemed
real.
Like, not that, like, it just seemed like you handled it really well. Not that, and I'm not trying to take away or whatever, but just like that, you're like, you went into automatic problem solving on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't try and do, like, what I think a lot of people would try and do when they get sick, because I kind of seen it in the hospital even with myself, like, do you know what I mean? A lot of people go into like an ostrich effect where they just try and bury their head in the sand about it and just like almost pretend it's not happening, where I was nearly like you. I was like, all right, look, this is at the happening, how do we fix it?
Do you not think that comes from your rearing though?
In what way?
Like where you're from and the grit that's around you, and I do think that it's personally, I think it is.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right, because what you were saying about your ma, my ma would have been like that with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like growing up, she'd be like, all right, look, whatever is at the happening, we can't change it.
What do you do going forward?
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's why I still have that attitude today. Like, now, I think like I'm a little bit more open to people's feelings. Not saying my ma wasn't, but she was from like a really old school, do you know what I mean?
Hardy, fucking,
like my nanny would have been like that with her, and you know, it kind of went on, you know. So
they weren't encouraged to express themselves, feel their feelings. That didn't exist then, Ryan.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at me, man, and I'm like, why don't you fucking get it? Because I'm so expressive, overly in the sense of, because everything I don't possess in our thoughts, they're all out.
You just say
nothing lives in me.
Right,
and
okay.
if I'll say, well, you're at to make me feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't like how you made me feel there. You're at to making me feel uncomfortable. But by me voicing that, I make her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because she's like, what's all this shite? We weren't allowed to say nothing like that.
Yeah.
Imagine my ma going to me nanny years ago, you're at to make me feel like, fuck off.
Yeah.
She's off the back. Out you go. Oh, look at you, to have feelings. Then you got debt.
Yeah.
Debt.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a real thing of that. Like, it was just get up and get on with it and get moving.
Which, I don't know, it's like an in-between, like it's kind of like a head scratch as well, because I think the world is maybe right now, I feel like, is too the other way, where it's just like that about like talking about it too much and kind of wallowing in self-pity, where I think it's good to recognise where you're at and go like, oh, I'm having a really bad day, but let's do something about it, let's get on with it. Do you know, not just to sit around, because like I even talking about being a man, like, you know, if I'm having a shit day, I have close friends who I talk to, and I'm able to go, oh, do you know what, I'm actually feeling really down on myself, where like obviously it's still only getting to that point with men where they're comfortable enough to not feel judged if you say stuff like that, like, do you know what I mean, or I'm having a real down day, I'm not the best here, my head's not where that or whatever. But I think a lot of the time as well, it's nearly, in this day and age, it's glorified to just be like, I don't want to say a victim is the wrong word, but there definitely is a lot of that, like, where it's like, that's, oh, just talk about it, and you definitely should. Everybody should talk about how they feel, but also do stuff to help it. Like, I kind of do say, like, a lot of the time I don't really feel like people should be talking about mental health until they're not going out and partying, drinking, taking drugs, they're eating well, they're getting a good night's sleep, they're getting movement, they're getting sunshine or daylight or whatever it may be. Do you know, I think before you should even talk about mental health, you should be ticking a certain amount of boxes.
Yeah.
Do you know, where it's, I think now it's kind of just, people just go on to straight, or me anxiety is at me, or I'm suffering with my mental health. Yeah, no, but now, like, if you're up scrolling all night on TikTok and Instagram and you haven't got a good night's sleep, you're going home and eating pizza and curry, you probably had to been out taking drugs the weekend. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
you're probably
absolutely.
not living a healthy life because you're probably constantly bitching and talking about people and surrounding yourself with negative people. I mean, anybody's mental health would be in turmoil if that was the case.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I completely agree with you. But the gas part is, and why I always find you so uplifting, is because people always say to me, like, oh, since you are sick, like, is that after changing your life? You must be so positive and everything must be so whatever. And I'm like, no. I didn't experience that. Like, I feel so guilty now when I have a down day, because I feel like people is looking at me and being like, look at her now, she's whinging over and she should be lucky, she's glad to be here. Glad to be here because she's lucky. But I'm like, I still have regular human feelings like I did before, course, and I still have me shite days and I still have whatever. But the only difference between me and you is you'll have a down day and you'll say it to yourself and you'll be like, you'll do something about it to fix it. Ryan, fall into holes.
Really, yeah.
The highs are high and the lows are low, and it's something that I've never been able to get a handle on. We go back to the logic is there. I can third person it and see it. I can see it, but handling it and changing it for me at times is really fucking difficult.
What do you think that is?
I've no idea.
Right.
I've no, and
like,
do you know what it is? Actually, I lie. I'm so dismissive of myself that I'm afraid if I confront something too far, that I'm going to open up something that I don't want to deal with. Because there's an awful lot compartmentalised in me. I don't want it. You don't want to open that door. No, it's easier to avoid myself and avoid what may be really causing this lull because something triggered it. I felt shite about myself one day and that was it. But there's a reason why you're cemented and you're stuck down there.
Yeah, but do you not think that if you keep on avoiding that it's going to be just with you for the rest of your... Do you know what I'm saying?
Ryan, all right.
No, I'm not trying to blame
No, but it is.
But you know what I mean,
it's absolutely that. And I actually I had...
But it's not an easy thing to do, by the way.
No.
So I'm not
No, it's
saying,
really not.
Do you know, I know
I'm violently avoidant.
Okay.
I've discovered that, particularly this year has been a big part of that. I've discovered it. Viciously and violently avoidant of feelings and myself.
But it's so mad that you're saying that, but then earlier on... No, but not even that, but earlier on you are like, if someone's making you feel uncomfortable, it sounds like you've now, in ways, which is a really good thing, you've no problem with confrontation.
Now, if you think about that, what's the difference between that? Somebody else involved in that situation. I recognise you and what you're doing and how you're making me feel in that moment, and you're not going to do it, so I'm going to call it out. Me having to confront me and my own behaviours is two different things. So that's what annoys me, is because I'm an intelligent girl in one breath, because I suss things and I watch everything, and hyper aware to a stupid extent, by the way. It's actually not helpful a lot of the time. But also is having the logic of knowing that I get so low because there's things that I just can't face and not fixing it because I'm afraid to feel the feelings. Yeah.
Because it's hard, and like, you know, there's like, even with my own self, like there's some stuff there where it's like...
So I don't want to open that box.
Yeah, it's really hard to... I try my best to do it, to be honest, you know what I mean? Because I know that if I don't...
It shows up in different ways.
Yeah, and I know if I don't address it now, I'm going to have to address it sometime in the future.
Yeah.
But in saying all that, it's still not easy, and it's still difficult.
It's a slow process.
Because, do you know what, it's like one of them things, isn't it? Like, you can lie to everybody in the world, but when you put your head down on the pillow that night, you can't lie to yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's no, I'm not. I was just curious as to why, because I know it's not an easy thing. Yeah. It's probably the hardest thing, because you can, like you say, you can call other people out, and that's why I think, like, even what I do talk about is like taking I try my best to take accountability to another level. Do you know what I mean? Like, I openly talk about, like, even if it's not my fault, there's part of it that I'll take accountability, because I'm like, I don't want to give power to somebody who's either doing something, or, like, you know, because I feel like if you take accountability and responsibility, you take the power back from it, because then you can do something about it. Because it's like, if nearly like an extreme way, if you say it's like, oh, this is my fault, you take power back, because you're like, okay, if it's my fault, then now I can change it. Yeah. Where if you constantly blame other people on stuff, sure, you can't do anything about it because it's not your fault and you didn't do it.
That I struggle with that as well, for the plain fact of an awful lot of situations in my life, Ryan, I didn't want to be a part of, and it was inflicted upon me. So I do have that thing of, oh, you swine. Like, I can't say that I don't, because people have done things that have affected the trajectory of my life massively.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I physically can't take accountability for, because it wasn't my choice.
Of course.
It was nothing got to do with
me. Yeah.
But then there is other things.
Well, even to a degree, like, probably the biggest thing in your life, like, you didn't choose to get sick.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's hard to take accountability for that.
I think because cancer isn't a walking, talking person, it doesn't bother me so much. When I feel like someone's after doing something on me, it's hard for me to drop.
Yeah, I agree, because I can hold a grudge. I try not to do it anymore.
It just sickens you, Ryan. You get sick.
Well, see, the thing about it is what I always say. It's like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? The holding that, like, it's like carrying something around.
I think I got sick because I held an awful lot, and I know that sounds ridiculous. And
it's not, because, you know, there's like scientific things to.
I do think that would be a factor. I think it would be a factor, because, funnily enough, when they told us what secretory carcinoma was, it's a childhood cancer. Right. So that's where my belief comes from, is that that festered in me, and that grew and carried in me. I truly believe that. People will argue with me down to the ground and say that I'm mental, but I
I think you're right about that. Yeah, definitely. It's but that is the main reason why I try not harbour resentment or anything towards people, because I know it's just I'm carrying that around. Do you know what I mean? And it's taking the headspace. But in saying all that, when someone's really wronged you, it's not like it's a...
It doesn't disappear is what I mean. I'm not saying that. And the gas part is, right, I'm at a stage in my life, right, that nothing anybody has done on me keeps me up at night. I will think about it
of
on
course,
an idle Tuesday, and I'll go, bastard. But I'll get on with my day and I'll move on. It would have been a stage before where, like, it would have ran me. It would have really fucking ran me. But now I'm like, no, the older I get, and I think you become a little bit more placid in the old age. And you're just kind of, it's all part of life. And they're not the first people that was going to do it. They're not the last people that was going to do it. You're going to have situations forever. That you're going to experience things like that.
It just does cut deep though, doesn't it? Because, like, even I do say about betrayal, like, you can only be betrayed by somebody who's really close and
love
really
or care for.
Or
that you had a high regard for.
Yeah.
It's fucking
and sometimes that's with me, you know, I find, like, I get really disappointed. Like, I don't know, even probably more, it's probably a stronger word than disappointed, because sometimes I know when I'm by myself and the thoughts that I have about people and trying to help people and doing what I can for anybody. So then to be wronged by people, I'm nearly naive by it, going like, oh, why would you, like, because I would never do that to somebody.
You don't possess that.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, how could you do that to me? Or, you know what I mean? So
or how do you rock about the world?
Yeah.
And that's what you do. And you can present yourself to the world to be this type of person or this type of way.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
Do you know? And you couldn't live in dishonesty like that.
Yes.
Nor could I.
Yeah. But again, it's just like one of them things, isn't it? That as I've got older, I try not let it disappoint me anymore, because I have to understand that everybody's not
us
and good people. Though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but everybody's heart isn't in the... I'm not going to say the right place, because what is right? Everybody's heart isn't in the same place. Not everybody is going to understand the way me and you tick. We're all so different. Do you know what I mean? And I had to accept over the years that people aren't always going to understand the way I am, nor me them. And especially when I got diagnosed with ADHD, and like I said to you earlier on, I do truly believe that, like, there's more of an autistic hang off that than that. But it makes so much sense in my behaviours. Like, throughout my life, Ryan, I was never able to keep in touch with people.
In what way?
If I left a job, when I left school, when I done anything, I was never able to hold on to relationships with people. Because I suffer with object permanence. If you're not in front of me, I'm not being better at them, but you're not present in my mind.
Really?
I love you. Right. I love you, and I know I've not forgotten about you.
Yeah, of course.
You don't exist in my world.
Yeah.
But if you're not in the forefront of my mind, like, I don't be like, oh, and one thing about me, nobody never has to check in on me. I never expect anybody to be wondering about what I'm doing in a day. Nothing. Like, you could not talk to me for 3 years and I will treat you the exact same as I would on the day that we stop speaking. Whereas that to me is normal. People don't get that from me. So they're like, Carly, you haven't been in touch with me in ages, and you haven't. And I'm like, what's wrong?
Yeah,
like, I'm here. Like, if you're looking for me, you should have just told me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you never like the idea of people thinking about you and checking in on you now?
I don't expect it from anyone. But I don't expect, like, probably again, right? This is probably a really bad thing, and it's probably protective pessimism, if you will. I don't ever expect that from anyone. Right. So when people do anything for me, it fucking rocks me world, Ryan. And I mean, down to handing me a coffee, I do literally be like, can't cope. Because I expect...
Even people who you're close with?
Blows me mind and rocks me world. Right. That people just would do something lovely for you from the goodness of their heart for whatever reason. Like, really does blow me away. Because, again, protective pessimism, I think on...
Do you think it's just because you just don't want to be let down by people subconsciously?
But that's the way I was from small up. I've just always learned to not.
Yeah, just like, so would you say you were like super independent when you were small?
Not in thought, not in physicality, because my ma always really fucking got after me and looked after me and done everything she could for me, like, really very much so. And even still now, geez, I wouldn't function without me ma.
Yeah,
Or I can't do anything without her. Like, she's literally my backbone. But thought-wise, I've always been very protective of myself just because of me rearing and, like, environments and stuff. So I just learned to never be expectant of anything from anybody, and that way you just won't get let down.
Do you feel like it's hard to open up with people or let yourself be vulnerable with people in the thought of being hurt?
Strange.
Say even like in relationships and stuff. Sorry, just sorry.
No, but
not
I mean,
asking you to talk about relationships,
no,
but
of
just
course not. No, I mean, I like even now. See the way I say I'm avoidant when it comes to, I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
right,
fucking hell. Jesus, Jeff, frightens the life out of me. The
Right.
thought of meeting a
just be-
person, opening up to them.
and to be let,
But I don't
potentially
trust
let down.
people, Ryan. I don't. Like, it's just natural in me to not trust people. I trust me ma.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, I do. And if I always say, like, I would never turn around in the world about anybody and say they'd never do that.
What you mean?
About any situation, like, about someone cheating or someone doing wrong on someone. I would never turn around and say they'd never do that.
About anybody, like,
About
because
anyone.
yeah, right,
Because I
okay.
don't know what
Yeah.
you're capable of at the end of the day. Because I've
Even
seen
with the
people
like
being...
really close with you.
I'd like to say, yeah, but...
Yeah,
like,
you just don't know. Yeah.
you just don't know where, and that's the way. And again, it's protective. I think
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
that
yeah.
I'm like, anybody's capable of that. I've seen the loveliest people in the
Yes,
universe
yeah.
be totally different people and do terrible
Yeah,
things.
same, like, really
So
same.
to me, I just don't be confident enough in turning around and saying never about anyone or anything
Never
myself. And I'll always say when I'm having conversations, I'll go never, and I go, oh bollocks, I take that back, because never say never. You
Yeah.
don't fucking know in this life, like.
Yeah, but I think, like, you know, do you know what I mean? I think, like, what you're talking about there, like, you know yourself well, again, going back, like, you're pretty self-aware, so I think I gather from talking to you that you're so self-aware that I don't think you would, like, you don't have that malice in you that you could actually...
Oh God, no!
That's what I mean.
No, I'm a handbag.
Do you know
No,
what
and
I
I
mean?
am, and that's what I'm a handbag. Like, I'm like, and I think that obviously that's why I'm so protective, Ryan. This is a huge thing of it. Is people look at me and they hear them out at me, they hear me cursing, and I'm loud and I'm boisterous or whatever, and people are just like, oh, that thing's bleeding mental.
mad.
She-
Yeah.
And lacks depth. I often think that people do feel
think,
like
yeah?
they're about me. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
the time,
don't-
because they just hear me.
Yeah,
People
right.
hear me and they're
I
like,
know, but obviously I watch like, follow each other on social media, and I watch your
Yeah.
videos because I think your videos are hilarious. Like, your personality's great, and I never gather that what you're saying about you, probably because maybe that's probably what you think people think about you, like, in not in always, in certain ways that you lack depth.
Yeah.
But I would never watch your videos and think she'd lack
but
because
as in, like, feelings wise.
Okay, right,
Yeah,
okay,
I'd say,
yeah, I
cause,
get you.
again,
Okay.
because it's, people will see, and it's, I don't think it's a front. It's 31 years, right, and I'm not changing. Like, this is me personality, but it's a byproduct of the way I am. So, but I'd say people look at me and be like, oh, she wouldn't really, like, feel very much like that. And the gas part is, I can't listen to sad songs because I will be hysterical. Like, during the middle of the day, I'll be driving the car, and if a sad song comes on, I'll turn it off because I don't want to cry in the car.
Right.
This is why I'm so avoidant of feelings. Can't watch sad film. I watched Forrest Gump for the first time, thought I was going to have to go to Mater Hospital.
Unreal film.
I was absolutely, Ryan, devastated.
Right.
To the point of, I don't watch sad films. I don't watch romantic films. I don't watch sad, like, I listen to sad music. It will interrupt my day.
Right.
This is
so
where
just
that...
get so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah.
Because I'm autistic.
Yeah.
It's the ADHD. I'm telling you, I have to handle myself.
And what were you like growing up? Because you just seem like you have a very buzzy personality. Was that always the way you've been? Or was, like, do you remember yourself being, like, buzzy and funny and boisterous when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just always hopping off the walls, realistically. Like, they should have had me assessed way before they did.
Yeah.
But, I was always buzzing. And my father, funny enough, would have been witty. Do you know what I mean? Like, would have had a wit about him. And my cousins, all the Mahady side, like, they're all funny fuckers. I have to hand it to them. Like, they're a funny gang of people. And I would have been brought up around, like, my uncle, God rest him, he's gone, but I would have been brought up around him, and he was a bit of crack as well. Like, you adopt these bits and pieces. You're an accumulation of everybody you've fucking met, you know what I mean? And I would have had it then.
Yes, it's like funny, like it definitely for me, I think like I developed it as a defence mechanism. Because I was always small with big teeth. So I was kind of easy to pick on. So
no, I agree with you in that regard.
Yeah, so I had to like... Well, maybe, yeah, but it's not the case for everybody.
Yeah,
or it was just
it's a bit of that and a bit of that.
Yeah.
Because I had a bit of crack around me and I had funny. My ma would have been a bit of crack and aunties and uncles and cousins would have been that. But also, I was growing up in fingless with red hair. Also had big teeth.
So
easy target, you know what I mean?
And I think it's like, that's where I definitely got that from, like where someone would say something to me and I'd just boom.
God.
Like, oh, I just like straight back.
No holds barred either, your man all's getting it. Absolutely. Because if you think I'm going to let you stand there, rip me. But that is where it comes from. And it was always, there was obviously a majority of young fellas rather than young ones on my road. So I was hardy as well growing up. I had an older brother. So we used to knock around with like the older kids, nearly predominantly all fellas. All of the kids their age was nearly all young fellas where I lived on my road as well. So I'm out wrestling them all. I'm out playing football, baiting each other.
Would you have been like a tomboy, like a little bit?
But it's so funny. Again, I'm such a contradiction of a person because I'd be out playing football, doing boxing, doing this, that, and the other. But then I'd be going and putting me glittery costumes on and going dancing. And my bedroom was Barbie pink, and I loved pink, and I wore pink. So there was just a lot of. There's always been such a thing with me, and even still now. I told you one, like even the way I speak now, people say, well, that's not feminine, this, that, and the other, and all the whole lot, which it's not, never wanted it to be. But at the same time, I love glitter and sparkles and fluffy things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But do you not think like that it's just good to be your authentic self? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It's scary. I think me being fully me as well, like I've been ripped asunder before online, people saying that she doesn't even speak like that. What do I speak?
I get hell on this podcast.
Yeah.
People always say about my accent and they say it's fake. They say my accent fake. Why does... No, I've seen it a couple of times. Why is he putting on that accent?
Yeah.
And it's like...
You've never met somebody from the inner city before in your life.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what's wrong with you.
Even when I go away, like, they need subtitles for me. And I do, like, obviously I do about the public speaking and stuff like that
you
now.
You speak unique, though. You always did.
Yeah, but do you know where I find it comes really out was when I'm speaking to somebody, like, from Dublin. Do you know? So when I'm going up on stages and I'm addressing people from different places, I think I'm a little bit more conscious of... I don't even think it's pronunciation. I think it's just slowing the way I speak.
Yeah.
Do you know? Because one thing I'll say is I'll never change my accent for anybody. I don't care. The accent is part of me and it's who I am. But I will definitely, because I had to learn even when I was away in Texas, in the hospital I was in, they just couldn't.
For people to understand you. It's literally just for people to understand you.
It's the speed. You know, a woman, she was from Louisiana and she was just looking at me every time. She was like, oh my God, I don't know what you're saying. So funny. And then I would just slow it down and I'd be like, oh yeah, so we're going out to eat tonight, you know? And then be like,
but come here. Your market is you're getting paid to go and speak.
Yeah.
People have to be able to understand it. Yeah. So it makes perfect sense. It's not that you're changing your accent or hiding that. It's just that you just have to understand it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it's just when you said that there about it, because people obviously saying about you, like,
I get it all the time. And also as well, going back to me patterns of, and he keep bringing it back to ADHD, but it is a thing of like, I'll be speaking to somebody for 5 minutes and I'll be speaking like them by the end of the conversation.
Really? Yeah.
My ear bends, Ryan. I'm like, fuck for it. And even when I'm talking, I'll be speaking a Cork accent, then I go to Belfast.
No, because I know people
then
who
I'll
do,
go
yeah,
to, I do it all the time, no matter what, like all the time. And then I'll do posh D4. I just bounce between accents. That's just what I do. Yeah. And people do be like, so what way do you actually speak? And I'm like, whatever way you think, love. Whatever way you think or want to think. Because you don't believe I speak the way I speak anyway.
Do you think if you moved away, like, you'd kind of lose the accent? Like, like,
no, so just while I'm speaking to somebody, like, I will, it's weird. It's like, do you know, there's peaks and valleys in the way you speak, and everybody has like a musical kind of way in how they talk. Like 5 minutes, I'll kind of be following the pattern of somebody else's speech. It's so strange, Ryan. It's happened to me since I'm a child.
A quick word from our sponsors, The Ink Factory. If you're looking for the best tattoo studio in Ireland, The Ink Factory in Temple Bar is one of the highest rated tattoo studios in the country. with over 5,000 5-star Google reviews. They're home to 30 expert artists, including award-winning talent covering every style from fine line to full custom pieces. They also offer professional piercings from just €25, including jewellery. So whether it's your first tattoo or your next one, you're in safe hands. Visit www.theinkfactory.ie or follow them on Instagram and TikTok at The Ink Factory. But again, so funny that you're self-aware.
Yeah, my accent won't change, but the rhythm in which I speak will probably match up to theirs. And if I wanted to do their accent standing in front of me in 2 minutes, I'd be able to do it. Weird.
Yeah, that's... but again, like, very... like good self-aware, you know what I mean?
You're like, you really know what's going on.
Yeah, no, but because I just admire and respect that so much, because I just think a lot of people are, I don't want to say asleep at the wheel, but they're really not conscious of what way they behave. Because we had a behaviour analyst on here a couple of weeks ago, and he
I
was
need to start listening to podcasts. I really do.
I know, but it's like, I understand, it's like, it's just fucking, you know, because I even have podcasts where I'm like, oh, I'm interested in that conversation, but I don't want to hear about that, and you know what I mean? So, but behaviour, that's why I had Jason was his name, and he was just breaking down the kind of stuff that we do and why we do it, even though it's unbeknownst to us, like nearly like subconscious, do you know what I mean? And I just find like stuff like that really intriguing, you know?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, for you to be even conscious about such things is really good, because a lot of people aren't, like, you know? The lights are on, but nobody's home, we'll say.
And I do find that with an awful lot of people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'd love to be like that. I'd love to knock around the world and just not think the way my brain thinks.
Yeah.
Because you'd be bollocks.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, because you know where you hear talk about that loads is Elon Musk. He's like, people think like they see me on TV and they see me money and I'm successful because I've built this company. And he was like, you would not want my life, because there's no way that I can never switch off.
Yeah.
He says, like, there's no way of knocking my brain off. Sometimes I just want to relax and just think about nothing, but it's impossible.
Yeah.
So, like, he's actually saying that he's tortured by his own...
But this is it now, on a much smaller scale than Elon Musk is what I'll say, is that I'm back on me medication for my ADHD.
Right.
So, my Auntie Rita is in the room, Miss Ritlin. We're back on her.
Right.
It's all happening.
What do you find that helps you do? Just slow your mind, or what does it do for you?
So, I have major grievances with medication. Ryan, I was put on antidepressants when I was growing up, when I had ADHD.
Right.
Nobody twigged this. So I was just getting thrown on antidepressants, high milligrams of whatever, made me really unwell, physically and both mentally. I've had really bad experiences. So I don't trust, like, if I have a headache, I will think hard about taking a paracetamol. I'm not that type of person to just reach for the tablet if I'm not feeling well. It's not my thing. So me having to throw in the towel now and go back to this, which this is all a personal thing, by the way. People taking medication, there's no shame in it. There's no issue. If this is going to help you, this is just a personal thing from my experiences. It's not great. So I had to, as of recent, go back on it because the brain was, Ryan, ridiculous. Like, I'd be having a conversation, there'd be 53 thoughts beginning a minute while I was trying to talk to somebody, and I was like, I fucking can't live in here anymore. Like, it was literally debilitating.
Right.
Like, and I just felt like a vegetable because I was a vessel. Yous are all speaking at me. I'm not even taking a word that yous are saying now at this stage. Nothing is registering. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I says, I'll go back on days and see how it goes. So basically, the only way I can explain it, and when I copped that it was actually probably working for me, was when I was in work the other day and I was cleaning jewellery. So me boss's gas, she always gives me all these little, we call them little mouse jobs, right? Yeah. Because it's what keeps me engaged and keeps me going. You leave me at one stupid thing for too long, I get pissed off and I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm fiddling around with all these little bits and pieces. So I'm cleaning jewellery and work, right? And Lizzo, about damn time, was been playing on the shop floor, and I came out the back and of course, only you say humming a song to yourself or singing a song to yourself. And I realised while I was cleaning the jewellery that I was at that making it through 2 verses in the song in my head without thinking of anything else, only singing the song. Yeah. And I went,
no way.
And it, like, there was one of the women in the back room with me, and I was like, oh my God. And she was like, what's wrong with you, Carly? I was like, that's fucking mad. She was like, what's mad? I was like, I just wasn't even answering her. I was like, oh my God. I was like, it was the first time that I felt like it actually had worked for me, that I had one singular running thought for more than a minute.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. That to me just fucking blew my mind.
And that was, you think the medication definitely helped you with that?
Well, I took it like about an hour previous, and I've never had it happen before.
Yeah.
So, but again, like trial and error with all of this as well. First of all, it can work for you for a short period of time. You can build up a tolerance for it. There's only so high you can go in a milligram. It's so complicated. I feel so fucking fiercely for anybody that depends on the likes of any sort of medication like that to just live their everyday life.
Yeah.
And I didn't want for it to be a thing that I'd have to do. But you have to pick a lesser evil sometimes.
Yeah.
It was my brain had the medication, right? And I was not going to survive going the way I was going with how my head was at that stage.
Yeah.
There's CBT therapy and all the whole lot, and there's things you can do. But at that given moment, I'm one of these people as well. See the way I say in self-aware? Not very much so. I will go and go and go and go and go, and it'll be breaking point. I won't see that it's like burnout.
Yeah.
I won't see that it's on the rise.
Right.
I'll just see it when I'm knee
it's
deep
just
in
done,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
Yeah,
one
no,
of them
because
things.
I definitely think I have a touch of it. Definitely, I know from even speaking to you here now, and then, no, I don't mean that, just because I've heard people speak about it. Like, see the way you were saying, like, where, like, you got to a stage and you just felt like you were an empty vessel. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I hear the sounds, I don't hear the words.
Yeah, because
Very nice.
and I have heard people talk about that. So, but there's certain little things within me that I know I have a touch of it. I don't even say I have it because I don't even, maybe I just have traits of it because I'm thinking about something about the podcast and that's a great idea and this is a great idea, and then I'll be like, I remember that jumper that I was looking at 6 months ago. And I will just drop everything that I was thinking about the podcast and go on to Google or go on to the site that I seen.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of catch myself and
you'll see an ad on the site and then you go, oh, jeez, remember that I was thinking about the other day? Bang, you're on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will, and I'm kind of like...
But I also just think, right, I think people are mistaken, and I'm not saying you in this moment and I'm not dismissing you, but I do think it is important to appreciate the fact that all of our attention spans are snookered. Destroyed.
Well, one of the reasons why I'm even saying, and that's why I didn't fully, because like I said, I've heard people speak about it before, and even with yourself, the way you're at explaining it there, I definitely don't have it like that. So I wouldn't even say I have ADHD. I think I have traits of it, but I think again, maybe sometimes I'm a little bit harsh and ruthless the way I say things, but I think a lot of the time, because people are maybe not being the most productive with their time, they like to kind of use that as an excuse. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you not think that comes from your fighting background though?
What?
Your delivery, right?
Yeah.
Or the way you think is, you had to, when you are fighting, get the job done in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And you had to be, even when you are training, you're moving for functionality and to do one job. Everything is direct. The way you approach everything is direct, because that is all you know. That's all you did when you were fighting. Yeah,
but sometimes like it doesn't. I know what you were saying, but I know a lot of fighters, and that doesn't translate over to their personality. Do you know what I mean? So they wouldn't, like, sometimes.
But it would have to have some sort of effect on you somewhere.
Yeah, in some ways. But like, say for instance, like what you're saying about like your ma, the way she is, and even my ma, like I definitely have that where I think I'm a little bit more self-aware, even not to say that my man wasn't self-aware, but like again,
they
like they were the time, they were just like, oh, just go on with it. And I do have a lot of that in me where I'm like, okay, look, you know, whatever is at the happening, you know, just go on with it. Yeah, okay, feel, like what I always say, feel the feelings and talk about it, but ultimately, like, don't, because I always, one of my things what I say is, you can have pity or you can have results, but you can't have both. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, if you want to be pitied, that's grand, but don't expect that pity to translate well into your life. Do you know what I mean? Because it feels good to be pitied, I suppose. Like, it's like, oh, poor me, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? But I just think, and that's why I say sometimes I'm a little bit ruthless about it, because I'm like, all right, look, whatever is at the happening, book her on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are we going to do to change it?
Do you think, right, just because we and I've not said this to anyone, I don't think, because we were in the situations that we were in and we dealt with it the way we did, do you think that there's probably like a subconscious thing of, oh, come on, the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've not ever said that, but it's gas, and I'm not like I'm on me high horse and I'm the queen of hardship, but sometimes I'd just be like, mate, will you ever fucking now?
Yeah, come on, like, yeah, like no, I completely, no,
but I also do that to myself, because I'm like, girl,
I know.
Are you got to cry over this when you're after getting through that?
But you wouldn't be in the position that you're in if you weren't like that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Because that's what, like, people do always say, like, you know, what's it, like, you know, people text me all the time about this treatment, that treatment, what did you do, what supplement, what this, what that. And, you know, they never, like, the biggest common trait that I see, and I know, to be honest, like, you know, especially from being paralysed from the neck down, I like the same injury as me. Unfortunately, I see, like, I've met very few people who've beat it and come out the other side of it. But the ones who I have seen come out the other side of it had that dog where they're like, let's go. Do you know what I mean? And that is the biggest thing that I see. Like, definitely, look, I got a lot of help and went to this place and went to that place. But I think the biggest thing is, even the people I've seen beat it, it's been like, you know, and unfortunately, I was up in the hospital the other day with my auntie, and she's really bad cancer. Now she's battling it over 20 years. And like, we are just talking, and I was saying, like, but like, you know, she's gone really thin now, and we are just talking about that, and I was like, geez, like, you'll find this over 20 years, like, you're obviously like a really strong fighter, you know, and that's what we are just talking about. Like, I think when you give up on yourself, that's when everything...
It's a fucking massive decline. Now, don't get me wrong, especially with cancers. Cancer's going to do what it's going to do. Like, it can't, a good attitude can't overtake it all the time. Do you know what I mean?
And same with the injury. Of
course. But Jesus Christ, it makes a hell of a difference. Because I'll tell you now, I met people, Ryan, on my ward, in my chemo ward, and this was during fucking COVID. And listen, that's poxy. I was all right. I was young, I was chirpy, I was yapping away to nurses, I was on the little blower, I was on my Instagram, and I was flying away. There was people, like, that to me was, I'm just going to sit at home and scroll anyway, so it doesn't matter, I'm in here and I'm doing what I'm doing. It wasn't painful for me to get it. Was it a pain in the hole having to go in and sit and be in a place that you're not in your cosy bed to get it? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm going to sit and scroll at home anyway, so realistically, I can do the same thing here.
Yeah.
But there were, say, like, older people that didn't sit on phones, that would converse with their other half or their kids or their, like, people that took care of them and stuff, that were sat bored stiff, and it really got to them and it really got them down. And you could see a decline in people.
Yeah.
Like, you really, really could. And it was the difference between the people that were, like, that just probably seemed a bit more accepting of it.
Yeah.
That probably would have thriving almost, and then the people that kind of like wallowed in it, which again, I'm not judging anybody for, because fuck me, it's hard. It's hard, and everybody's body as well is so different. Like, I was so lucky in a sense of that treatment didn't snooker me, Ryan. My body responded really well to it. Like, don't get me wrong, she got sick. I was seasicky at times. It interrupted me sleep. I got your general. But I didn't have all of those symptoms horrifically. Yeah. I had some of them, and they were a bit shit, but it was bearable. Whereas some of these women, Ryan, couldn't even sit there without literally getting sick the whole entire time. So trying to keep a high attitude whilst that's physically happening to you as well is so fucking hard. It takes a lot.
Yeah, and that's why I deal with the same kind, in the same breath. I say, like, come on, like, you have to fight here, you have to go on with it. But I also wonder, because much like what you were saying, I never kind of judged anybody who didn't, because, you know, I was on a ward and there was some people who never got out of bed, and I never judged them, because I'm like, I know how demoralising this is on your life. Like, I had nurses changing me, washing me, feeding me. Do you know what I mean? And I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? But in the same breath, I was like, you can only be beaten if you give up on yourself, and if you still have that fight within inside you. But again, this is somebody who you know, I've kind of like had that, what?
No, you're making me a little bit emotional.
No,
sorry. I'm very proud of you, Ryan, and I'm just like, I'm in awe of you. I always say it all the time anyway, but it's just it's insane.
Like, yeah, but obviously, like, you're made of the same stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Because, like, look at what you're at the down, and I just think it's like what I'm trying to say is it's just, you just have to have that fight.
Yeah.
And I think being, like what I do say to people, you know, well, it's like being positive and optimistic and having that fight in you, it doesn't always guarantee the results.
Yeah.
Like, it absolutely doesn't.
Here, there's some things you just can't overpass.
Yeah,
like.
and that's just the reality of it. But I think your chances are way higher if you have that.
Yeah.
Do you know? That's what I do say.
It's just another fucking weapon in the arsenal.
Yeah.
It's another thing behind you that's going to benefit you no matter fucking what.
Yeah. Well, like I say, it's just I seen the decline in people when they gave up on themselves. That's when I really seen, and much like what I said is, what's the biggest thing that I've seen people be at? That, no, I'm going to fight this.
But it's something to fight for. Do you know what I mean? And so people are always like, but what's the point? Like, if I'm not going to get better, the positivity betters your quality of life. It betters your relationships with the people around you. So even if it's not going to save your situation, you're still better in your life in some sort of avenue.
Yeah.
It still plays to you.
Yeah, because my thing is, like, what's the alternative? Like, you be nihilistic and negative and just, like, moping and just, people don't want to be around you and you're not a nice person to be around. Yeah. And what's the alternative? Like, you just kind of die bitter and resentful. That was my kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where, like, I'm like, all right, well, let's just have a laugh, like, you know.
I didn't even want to talk about it, Ryan. When I was with my friends, I was like, can we just not talk about cancer for a minute?
Yeah, right.
How about we just talk about something else? And, like, I remember getting really upset at one stage, obviously, because this was during COVID and everybody is fucking locked in their gaffs, like.
Yeah.
And I certainly, see the way everybody's having little snaky COVID parties and all? Yeah. I was raging, because I would have been there.
Yeah.
I'll hold my hands up, I would have been there.
Yeah.
But I physically, my mum was getting stripped at the front door after doing our shopping because she was petrified that she was going to fucking infect me with something. Like, this is how much they fucking got in on us.
Of course, yeah.
And I remember at one stage, like, I'd be texting the lads, I'm like, what's the story, what's happening, like, what's going on, and I'd be like to the girls and all, you still on that young flirt, like, what's the story? And obviously things is real difficult now, so are you going on the snake to go on and see them or whatever? And, like, they'd be like, oh, I'm not seeing him anymore, like, such a thing. And, like, why didn't you tell me? And they'd be like, oh, well, I didn't want to be hassling you.
Yeah. But, like,
but don't stop me from...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
did you feel like you nearly wanted to, in a weird way, you nearly wanted to have a good time through them, in a sense? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they'd
not
be
so
like,
much. It hurt me feelings more that I was like, but why aren't you coming to me? I'm still the same person and I can still give you advice and we can still have conversation. Don't take that part away from me. I don't want me friendships with everybody just to be, poor Carly, surrounded by yes men. Do you know what I mean? Like, all this just blowing smoke up me hole. No, give me stick. Tell me about the shite that's going on. Cry to me. It's what I'm here for. I function better off of helping people, Ryan. Like, if I wasn't gonna, like, I don't know, even now still, I'd love to do, like, be a counsellor. I fucking love helping people unravel. Nice. I really fucking love it because that's where I feel fulfilled. Like, when my friends turn around at the end of a conversation, fucking crying to me, hugging me, kissing me, and Carly, like, I needed that out of me and you're the only person that could have got it out of me or understands where I'm coming from or would sit and help me fucking pick it apart to see what it was that was upsetting me. That was where, like, I felt important. You need to feel needed in this life, Ryan.
Yeah, of course.
You do. So for me at that stage, to just feel like I was this little fucking sick spectacle and people just wanted to keep me happy, I was like, no, don't take that part of our friendship away from me because that's where I feel seen. That's where that's actually... You
get energy from that.
Exactly. Like, that's more important to me.
Yeah.
So I just didn't want to, when I was sick, to just be tiptoed around. Like, no, give me all of that. I'm your friend first. Like,
I know, and like, you can probably understand it from people, isn't it? Like, who haven't been sick because they're kind of thinking, like, I'm not going to her talking about her own flesh, she's battling cancer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But they never had anybody sick around them before.
Yeah.
They were fucking going, what you bleeding say to this board? And like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you say, Ryan? I'm the luckiest person in the world because it wasn't anybody that I love to bits because I would crumble. I'll tell you that for free here and now. You get yourself together when you have to be there for somebody and when you're around them. If that had been my ma, I'd have saddling up and I'd have sorting it out while I was in front of her.
Yeah.
When I wasn't around her.
Yeah.
Like a bag of water, I'd be no use to anybody. I'm so blessed that was me. Any of my best friends. Devastated. Literally wouldn't be able to think straight. So I'm looking at these poor fuckers trying to stumble around. Like, what do we do here? Because they've never experienced that before. But I was just like, can we please just keep it normal? For all of our sakes, because you feel weird as fuck. You don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I feel strange because you're being weird. Let's just be the way we always were. I just have a skin on now.
Yeah,
you just have to look at me with a baldy, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
other than that, we're good. Like,
yeah.
Did you feel like that?
Yeah, I did. I have to be honest. Like when, I do talk about like when my friends come up and no one really wanted to say much, and then I would just make a joke and have a buzz, and then I think I think they thought I was a bit not weird, but like they were like he's literally can't even feed himself. Like, why is he having such a good time?
They think you're going a little bit mental, I'd
Yeah,
say. Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
It's not going like mental, but they're like, oh, like he's really trying to keep it together. And you're like, no, but I actually am alright.
Yeah, I'm having the buzz here, like, you know what I mean? Because again, going back to it, it's like, what's the alternative? Just sit there and be a mood hoover.
Yeah.
And just be like...
A mood hoover?
That's
wonderful. I'm going to rob that, thank you.
John Lally, I think I heard him, one of the boys, yeah.
That's wonderful.
But great. But yeah, so what's the alternative? Just sit there and be morbid and like have the blade in the room be like a Jennings.
I'm after getting you all up from Dublin to see here and soak in the fucking weirdness.
No,
like, no.
It's like, no, come on, we have a buzz. Like,
yeah,
do you know what
absolutely.
I mean? So like, there's the famous story about me mate's blade and putting them out my hand when I couldn't move out from the neck down and knocking on porn on the telly and then calling the nurses in. Do you know what I'm saying? So like,
that's a belt.
You cracker. Do you know what I mean? So great. Like, you know, and blading. Yeah, fuck.
Do you know what I give out about men all the time? But you know what my favourite things in the world is just watching boys be boys together.
Yeah, it's great.
It really, do you know, like, good, harmless fun.
Yeah,
and it's just fucking
buzz.
Stupidity.
Yeah.
That's what I love. I love
because
that.
You need to understand, men are stupid. Like,
there's a reason that you actually all die before us as well.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, you would listen to a conversation between me and my mates if you are sitting in the corner and just been like, oh my God, they are simple. Like, do you know what I mean?
Ryan, do you realise how many male friends I have?
Yeah, I suppose.
And male
yeah.
I'd be surely you've not survived this long.
Yeah.
Walking around God's earth and that's what you think and believe.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's like, how have you made it this far in life almost? You know what I mean? Yeah. No, well, again, the statistics speak for themselves in a sense.
They do.
How young men do it. Like, do you know what I mean? From their own shit. Even some of the stuff.
But even pack mentality, if a group of men is left on their own and a group of women is left on their own, the women is going to survive.
Oh,
the men is
100% stupid. Like, even I just think some of the stuff that I done when I was a kid, like in terms of like climbing up the side of buildings and falling through buildings, and do you know, like, Jesus, I'm fucking lucky that I didn't have an accident. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of the stuff that we used to do, like, and just wouldn't even think anything of it.
Absolutely. Like, life-threatening things. And you're like, gas.
Yeah, whatever. It's, but like that, like, you had a great time, and it's so funny, like, I think people always think it's weird for me to say that, you know, but I had, like, genuine, some of the best days of my life has been spent in the hospital. And
Ryan, I was the same.
It's mad. Like, because...
the happiest I was when I was sick.
Why do you think that was, though? Because I know why it was for me.
You tell me why it was for you first.
The reason why I think it was for me is because a lot of the time I had all my favourite people in the one room for prolonged periods of times.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like... Because you know yourself when you're going through life and whatever, and it's like... It's hard to get everybody because everybody's doing life, isn't
especially
it? People have
kids.
People have kids and they've this responsibility and that responsibility. But I just...
Or else they bring their shy board or their shy fellow with them when you're going somewhere. Like, you're like, you're no crack when you're with them. Do you know?
You're somebody else. Yeah. But in the hospital, everybody was together. We are all. I love giving people stick. It's one of my favourite things to do is to slag people.
Yeah.
Now, we're in good
jest,
in
good
good
jest,
in good taste.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not if I know somebody...
The butt of the joke kind of thing, you wouldn't be doing
No, if I know somebody's not able, I'll never slag them.
Yeah.
And I quickly identify who's able for a joke and who's not. Because I don't like the ones, like I get no pleasure out of slagging somebody who wouldn't be able to slag me back.
No, it's no crack then.
No, because it gets to a point where it's like bullying, and I'm not like I've seen that happening to people, and I'm like I just call that out straight away. I'm like, don't do that to them.
No,
don't, like, you
call
know what I mean?
it off. Yeah,
you know, because a lot of the people, I see, bullies do that, and they're like, we're only having it, and it's like, no, it's not a joke.
It's not funny.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
So I've never liked that with people. I just love the slag. I just have a buzz.
I just can't even explain. I just love it.
It's just a buzz, and I love people slagging me as well.
Yeah. See, I love it back. Like, I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah.
Even we were out the other night, Ryan, and there was these two little posers, right? And they said something to me when they were walking by me. I said, go out, I wish I knew even how much bag you little tick, and his face. And the other fella then standing there was tall, and the little one, I goes, you mini Montclair, go on now, start. And the young fella, he said, she's had her rinsing us. I said, don't get smart if you don't want the bag. I live for it. It's like I do be waiting on someone to say something, and then I'm like, we're in. We're locked in.
Yeah, no, I love that, yes. But that, going back, that was one of my favourite things, just sitting there having the buzz and just people telling stories, and it was
being around your people.
Which is so weird though, because I'm like somebody who really I try my best to value memories and be present with people.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm like, I haven't seen somebody in ages, as I get older, I again self-aware, and I do a lot of deep inward reflection, and as I got older, I'm just like, I try to be very present in the moment and conscious about things, and like all the boys will be whatever, and I'll be just like, this is a great time, isn't it?
I bloody love you.
Yeah. No, but you know what I mean? Like, just I know it sounds a bit, but just to take it in the moment.
Absolutely.
Like, it's like, because
you don't know when it's going to be the last time.
That's what I was going to say. You don't know. Like, even for me, like, and yourself.
Yeah.
Anybody, and the funny thing about it is I haven't thought this way just since I was paralysed, and I've kind of thought this way before that, thankfully. Because it's sometimes I think the penny doesn't drop for people until they do get sick, or they have a life changing something, which I think, smell the flowers while you're here.
Oh, God, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't wait till something goes wrong, or then go, oh, Jesus, I probably should have been enjoying life more. Like, I try and take pleasure in the little things, like, do you know what I mean? Do you know, when I was playing nearly like a playing counselling session, now we're going deep. But
I completely agree with you, and I feel like an awful lot of people aren't present in them. I struggle with it, to be honest with you. Like, because like that.
But that's probably because of the ADHD, though.
And then I get to a stage, Ryan, where like my social battery starts to deplete, and I recognise that I'm not at my full energy anymore, and then I get insecure about it, and then I'm like, oh Jesus, like I'm not even fun to be around, and I start to get in my own head.
It's so mad though, like, because obviously we were talking about before we kicked off, it's just so weird. You just don't strike me as somebody who the social battery would ever drain, because I know I don't have I only get energy from speaking to people, where I have people in my life and going like, you just don't stop talking, and you just don't. And I'm like, that's where I get energy from, speaking to people. I don't really have that thing where my social battery drains. If anything, mine only goes up the more people around and I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
But like, I never get that from you.
Yeah.
Like, as in, I find it weird the way you were at the same time.
But you observe me online an awful lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of
but even being in your company now
and
being in your presence, like, the energy that you give off is like very radiant. You don't ever get the sense that.
Well, I'm really enjoying talking to you, so that's probably what it is. But like, if somebody doesn't keep me engaged now, I will just plummet. But even if I have been engaged, so I can dip out very quickly if somebody hasn't got me. Like, I will just wander off. You'll notice it. You won't, because I told you I'm enjoying speaking to you. But when I'm not, locked into something, I'm just fucking away with the fairies, and I'll feel it drop. But then it also comes a time where I'll have the most phenomenal fucking day with one person, a group of people, wherever, and I'll be fucking hopping on a high, and then it just gets to a stage where I just haven't got it anymore. It really is just that thing. And then I'll have people hangovers for a good 3 days. Whereas I'm like, I need to be in a dark room. I mean, I'm not in a dark room essentially, but you know what I mean? Like, I need to be on my own. I need to be with my iPad. I'm a major iPad kid. It's desperate. I need to be with my iPad and just watch me little films and bring myself back to me, because I've expended so much energy that I actually do need to recharge. Like, I literally need to do it.
Yeah, because it's funny, I have a coach like that, and like if he's my MMA coach, and if he goes there, they'll be always slagging him, because I do always say, I don't know if you've ever seen the film with Ben Affleck in it, The Accountant, it's called.
No,
he's like super autistic, like, do you know what I mean? And I always joke with me MMA coach and say that's you and whatever. But we do laugh because he goes to like fighting events where like you could at any given moment you're surrounded by thousands of people.
Yeah.
And I do always say, like, that's you now, you won't be seeing for 3 weeks.
See me for a week.
Right. He needs to go home. And we laugh about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm going home to lock myself in the house and not speak to another person.
I swear, and if my friends always say to me, Carly, it's actually so unfair, because we'll go out on a night, right, have the best night in the whole entire world, and you know the way the next day some people like really want the debrief, and it's a giggle, and it's this, that, and that, which it is great, crack people to the group chat, it's all happening. Get away from me, don't speak to me for a week. They'll go, you give me, I'm like a fella, I'll give you the best night of your life and I won't speak to you the next day. And that is the God's honest truth. I'm like a man. I'll give you the fucking night of your life and you won't hear from me for a week. And that's just the way it is, because I need, even if I've had the time in my life, I just need to pull back and reset.
Have your own little space.
Swear to God.
No, I'm definitely somebody who I enjoy my own space, and I really do like my own space, but I wouldn't do well alone. Definitely not.
Men don't.
Yeah.
Men don't. It's a man thing. Yeah. I fucking love being left alone. See me, leave me alone the rest of my life. I'd be delighted. Yeah. This is why I thrive with not being with a man.
Yeah, right.
Being on top of me and on in my space. No, go me, mister. Like, I operate very much like a man.
Yeah.
I just, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No interest.
Yeah, definitely, because, I'm definitely somebody who'll be like affectionate, you know what I mean? Like, you're lying together, like you'd be like having you touch me, and
I'm not a touchy person neither. I'm tactile when I'm speaking. Like, I'll go out with that and I'll tap you and I fuck off and this, that and the other. But see all this and holding hands and tapping me along. I know. And again, I just think I'm weird. I'm a very, very strange girl. Like,
but I know a lot of people like that too. Like,
but I don't crave it, Ryan. I don't be like Joan the girl that like, I just want to meet someone. And I just don't crave it. If it comes, it comes. Yeah. Bloody lovely. If somebody wants to come into my life and be an addition and be lovely to me.
Yeah, but no it's problem. Not like...
But it's not something that can't easily be braided without. No, I'm all right. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something like that I do, kind of like, I know, self-aware, I know I'm like that as well, you know?
Yeah. I would like to be. I do try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Try and hug for a little bit longer, but then I start getting really itchy and all. I'm like, oh. Yeah, no, I would. I'd like to be real, like, cutesy and sweet and affectionate, but I just haven't got
it. You've built the following off being very real and very funny. Did that happen on purpose, or did you just start talking and people seemed to like it?
I built a following off people being nosy, first of all. I got sick and people were like, what's happening with this board? I was only young as well. It wasn't your general breast cancer story. So people are like, oh, fuck, she's quite young, which is great, because that was the whole reason that I wanted it out there anyway. That wasn't for fucking social gain or anything like it.
No, of course.
Yeah, I didn't think it'd take legs either the way it did. It was fucking mental.
Because you have a very, like, even your social media, people are... And I think people get it as well because of your personality, that you're very authentic and you're not trying to be anybody else, and that's why they stick around. But it seems like with your social media, people are very engaging and active with you.
Not so much anymore. Not as much as before, which is fair because I'm not active. So people aren't going to fucking engage with someone that they see once every 3 months. I understand that. Like, that's an awful lot got to do with me. But there's some loyal people, Ryan. Like, there's people following me since before I was sick.
Yeah,
and all
no,
that
but
are still on
anytime
my
I
page.
seen your stuff, like, it's very engaging. Like,
Wild.
do you know?
Yeah, no, and I'm so fucking grateful.
When
people
you're doing, like, the cowboy boots haul and...
people, yeah. Like, I just think people like to have the crack, Ryan.
If someone's following you now for your personality and content, what part of your story do you think that they don't fully understand you?
If they're following me for the breast cancer thing, they're probably not going to understand how I am as a person. Because an awful lot of people did just, like, and purely still now, people say, me auntie followed you because of the breast cancer story, and, like, she just is fascinated to see how you've gotten to here.
Yeah, because obviously it's a very, it's a very serious topic, and it's very educated, and that's why I wanted to ask you about it, though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, again, like I was saying to you before we actually kicked off live, like, my objective is to always get, like, some sort of value for the audience.
Yeah.
And there's no question that people will, even to, like, a woman or a man, because, like, I was talking to my friend Dick Pearson, he recently got diagnosed with breast cancer. Yeah.
What?
And I didn't know that a man that could be...
Right.
I didn't know
and that was one thing that I used to constantly drive, was that this happens men and women.
Yeah, and I never knew that till he announced it. And Deck's obviously a really big personality online and himself. Like, Deck runs Block Rock and Beats, and he's a DJ, and he's just a smashing guy. I know Deck a long time.
Wow.
But I never knew that. And so what I'm saying is, I'm sure there's a lot of information that you're at the shared and there that, like, people will be like, oh, geez, like, I actually didn't think about it that way. Let me look into that, or let me get that checked out, whatever, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's it's definitely important conversations that need to be had. Like,
do you know what, Ryan? I stopped talking about it because, like,
do you feel like it's draining sometimes?
Not draining whatsoever. I could talk about it all day. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't affect me in any way. People find me on nights out, people see me in the street and they're like, I'm so sorry to say this to you, but do you mind? No, walk away. Nothing you can say to me upsets me. It's not traumatic for me. It's just not. But people were saying that I was kicking a dead horse and that I was dragging the arse over for attention and yeah. And then I was just like, do you know what? There's so much more to me as a person and my personality than just having cancer as well.
Yeah.
And you also do feel like you haven't got a place anymore because there's people following me that are in active treatment and I'm not anymore, and there's just something like that feels a bit iffy to me about that. I just don't know if it's like for me anymore.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I completely understand.
It did
that
happen
as well.
to me, and it's all very real, and it's not undermining or dismissing me story. But maybe I always say that I don't want to completely shy away from it. It's finding the right delivery, and I've still not found that.
Yeah, no, I completely understand as well, because even obviously, like, a lot of people talk to me about my injury and whatever, and then before my injury it was about fighting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, people only, like, if I'm walking down the road, people be like, oh, there's Ryan or Cordar or whatever, he's an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And I always had in my head, like, I'm so much more than a fighter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's so much more to me as a person than a fighter. It's not all I do. It's not. Yeah, it's a big part of my life, and it might be what people know me for, but I am so much more than that. Do you know what I mean? So I can completely relate, and obviously now I get people coming up to me about the injury. But again, going back to what you were saying, like, I completely respect you for saying that, because I understand it.
Yeah.
There's so much more to you than someone who's just beat cancer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I get that, you know.
And I also don't feel like I need it for content's sake, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Because an awful lot of people, like, I find now, like, there's an awful lot of trauma porn online. A lot of people's hooks is depression, mental health and whatever. And don't get me wrong, and this is not me shitting on anybody, I do think that sharing stuff like that is actually helpful because it makes people feel seen and heard. But there's such an overshare of this type of content that it almost feels kind of smothering sometimes.
Yeah.
That it's all that's coming up rather than just like your everyday normal, like Instagram, you just be sharing pictures with your mates.
Yeah.
I get, and like I said, I know that this content is helpful. I've felt helped by seeing certain things online like that, but that would have been kind of heavy sort of stuff. But I did feel seen and I did feel understood by seeing it. It's just I don't feel like I need to use my story for content's sake. I shared it in the first place to help people. It's not really like I'm not monetizing off being sick.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just feel like when it comes to me naturally and I want to speak about it, I'll speak about it.
Yeah.
Not just using it for the sake of I'm low on views this week, I think I'll just try
Yeah,
and do whatever.
yeah.
It's not something that I do. And I know it's such a sensitive subject and a topic to be handled correctly. And like I said, when I find the right way, or if I ever feel like something comes to me and it feels really natural and I want to let it out, God, I will.
Yeah.
But just it doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it is, because it's so funny with me. Like, you know, like I never really wanted to talk about it that much, and now I just get so many messages in my DMs going like, you know, I'm going through this, and sometimes like it can be a little bit overwhelming, but then I suppose sometimes like I think I can offload a little bit. It's not stuff that I carry around with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Thankfully, because that'd be very draining if it did.
Oh, well, so, like
you know?
do read some messages and go,
yeah, well,
fuck
that's
it.
it, like, you know, so...
Whereas I had to stop for a good while because Ryan, I carry everything.
Yeah, see, I'm going to be honest,
I can't
I'm
even
able...
listen to a sad song or watch a film. So when I was reading these messages, I fucking felt crippled. My ma took my phone at me and all at one stage, and she was like, Carly, enough.
Yeah, see,
I was
thankfully for me,
crying.
I'm able to decompartmentalise it.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
Do you know, so like I make videos and stuff now. I'm actually making more videos like as time goes on, because it seems to be like when I meet people in the street, they're actually coming over to me and they're like, oh, that video really helped me, and blah, 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 do you know, so...
But that's your main goal.
Yeah.
Is helping people.
Yeah, it is. And I never used to think like that, but it's like, how could I help you get through a bad time? All I'm doing is talking. And apparently, like...
But like I said to you, even about now I'm not saying that your content is trauma porn, but even like the people sharing those heavy videos, like I said, I have seen some of them and felt seen and felt helped by seeing it, and seeing that other people experience the same kind of thoughts that I do, and it does make you feel normal.
Yeah.
So going through...
But I get though, they're not like...
It just gets too much at some stage.
It's
that's
just
all
draining,
it is.
yeah.
And I wouldn't mind. The gas part is like breast cancer. That's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the need to use all of the situations in my life for content's sake. Do you know what I mean?
because even with me, like, it's so funny, like, and it's probably something that I'm not probably something, but it's something that I am like moving towards as well, in terms of like people only see me like talk like on stage and being like kind of motivational or inspirational or whatever you want to call it, but like probably 90% of my life is just sitting around and having a buzz. Like, as in, I'm like, and people don't actually see that side too much. I actually want to bring more of me personality, like me funny.
Of
do you know what I mean?
Of course, onto your page.
Yeah, because it's like I'm not like, when
this a part of you.
Yeah,
but
I can be serious when it needs to be, and I talk about whatever, you know. But like that, it's just like just slagging a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? And just having a buzz, and
but incorporate it, let it all come in.
Because I'm like really somebody who doesn't take life too serious.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we have a buzz and just
rock on.
But
you need to let that shine through in your stuff. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like I let that shine through too much. So when people would follow me for the breast, they'd be like, this board's off the wall. Do you know when they were following me being like, thinking this is this little fallen angel that got cancer and God bless her, she must be so pure and sweet. And I'm like, fuck this and fuck that. Everybody's like, she's
just running around doing reviews on cowboy boots.
Mental.
Bro,
the board's not
so
well.
Funny.
Yeah, so I think when people follow me for the breast cancer stuff and see that I'm actually a little bit tapped, they're like, they're either really into it or they're like, not for me.
Yeah, I think definitely people would be into it, because you have that personality where you're like I said, like even you're doing mad hauls on cowboy boots, like just the fact that the way you talk and the way you do it.
The Elvis
like,
thing and all people is like, this young
hilarious.
one. Where do you be? I've lived 800 lives. So people do be like, Carly, I remember you fire breathing in nightclubs when you were 16. Now you're petrified to go on a night out, riddled in anxiety, going to Tesco doing book reviews. You all right, girl? I'm like, yeah, I think I'm getting there now.
But thanks so much for coming on, pal. That was a great chat. I really appreciate it.
I had a lovely time. And I'm not scared anymore. See, I settled into it after a while.
Oh, thanks so much.
Ah, thank you, my darling.
Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. See you again next week.